In today's video, I'm going to talk about the best budget Prebuilt gaming PCs of December in 2021. Now, you have to keep in mind that these budget gaming PCs might be at a lower price when Christmas deals come out, so that's something to keep in mind if you want to buy one of these gaming PCs. Maybe you should wait for the next couple of days and I will be updating you by creating YouTube videos. You will have the link to all of these PCs down below in the description, as well with gaming PCs that I do recommend for every type of budget in case your budget is not featured in this video. Now let's start with the list. With the first one on the list, we have our budget-friendly HP Pavilion gaming desktop, this time being the 2170M PC. This one has the Ryzen 3 5300G alongside 8GB of RAM on dual channel at 3200MHz, which is great actually because it's dual channel. You also get 256GB of SSD and the RX 5500 for the GPU just for $650. Now this PC was on a deal the last couple of days for $550, so you could save $100 a couple days ago, and that's why I do recommend you to wait until Christmas deals because I'm pretty sure HP is going to give us some deals. But for now, I think for the price is pretty decent because you get the RX 5500 which you can upgrade to the GTX 1650 Super just for a $20 difference. If you want my honest recommendations to upgrade on this PC, the first one would be the GTX 1650 Super for $20, and you can swap the graphics card just by clicking on customize and buy. After that, you want to upgrade the SSD to 500GB of SSD. Now you can get more storage with 1TB of hard drive, but the SSD is going to be much faster, and I do recommend you buying 500GB of SSD instead of 1TB of hard drive. Now the next thing you want to upgrade is the RAM to 16GB of RAM, and this will give you a huge boost in a lot of games, especially in games like Fortnite, which uses a lot of RAM. Now I think $100 for 16GB of RAM is kinda overpriced, so you can get another stick of 8GB on Amazon or any website for $40. And the last thing that you want to upgrade, I think, is the CPU. You want to go from this Ryzen 3 5300G to the Ryzen 5 5600G, which I think it's a great CPU to pair it with the GTX 1650 Super. Now the total price if you do these upgrades will be $909, and I think for the price that you're paying you are getting a great overall Prebuilt gaming PC. But if you don't have the money to buy it, don't worry, adjust this PC to your budget. You can get the $650 version and it's going to run just fine for games like Fortnite, CSGO, Minecraft, and also for games like GTA 5 60 FPS average in medium to high settings. So I think this gaming PC for the price is awesome, but if you have the money to, you can do these upgrades to make it better. Now the next one is also from HP and it's another Pavilion. Actually it's the same design but it's different specifications, and I made a video about this exact gaming PC. I made a full review just with a different GPU because right now you can't get the GTX 1650 Super on this PC, you can only get the 1660 Super, and that's why the price it's a little higher, but you can get a really similar PC for less price with the GTX 1650 Super that you will have as well down below in the description. But I will talk about this one, and this one I think is one of the greatest deals out there because if you change the GPU to the RTX 3060 and the power supply of course to the 500 watts option, you can get a gaming PC for $1,030 that actually has the RTX 3060, which I think is one of the greatest GPUs out there and it's hard to get right now, and you also get the i5 11400, which I think it's a great CPU for gaming. Now the only downsides for this PC of course are going to be the RAM and storage, 8GB of RAM and 256GB of SSD. You can upgrade this pretty easily. Now you can do this from the website. For $100 you can get the 16GB of RAM, again I think it's overpriced. You can get one stick of RAM from Amazon and you're going to be just fine. And also for the SSD, I mean you can spend $40 extra for 500GB of SSD, or just go with the $50 option, 1TB of hard drive, where you get more storage, but of course it's going to be slower. Overall $1,030 for a gaming PC with the RTX 3060, and you can do these upgrades, the RAM and storage later on. I think it's a great deal. You can run ray tracing games, every single game at 1080p 60 FPS average high settings. Of course for competitive games it's going to be enough to run at 240 at all times, so I think this PC is great for the value. Now for the next PC we have one from Amazon and it's the CyberPower PC Gamer Extreme VR with the i5 11400F, which is the same performance as the i5 11400, and you get the RTX 2060, 500GB of SSD, Windows 11 and 8GB of RAM with only one stick, and that's something that is not good, but once again you can buy another stick and make it way better. Now it's not as good as the HP Pavilion with the 3060, but here you get more SSD and also you get better airflow for the case, and that's something you should keep in mind if you want a gaming PC with better airflow and more upgradability in the future. cheaper because the HP Pavilion is more of a once in a lifetime use. Of course, you can take out the primary parts as the GPU and the CPU, RAM and storage too, but you can take out the parts like the power supply and motherboard. Here you can do this, and that's why it depends on your necessities. If you want a gaming PC that is better for gaming now, that will have better performance, then go with the HP Pavilion. But if you want a gaming PC that you will upgrade actually in the future, you want to change these components to another case, then the CyberPower might be a better option for you. Now for the next PC is actually from Amazon too, and it's the Skytech PC 3.0 gaming desktop. This one has the i3-10100F, which is a decent CPU for gaming, of course not as good as the i5 one, and you also get the GTX 1650, not the super version. You also get 500 gigs of SSD, 8 gigs of RAM at 3000 MHz. Now this PC for performance right now is not going to be the best one on the list, and I think it's actually a little bit overpriced, but I put it here just because it has good airflow and future upgradability. It happens the same with the CyberPower PC. If you want better upgradability than the HP Pavilion, then go with this one, but I don't think it's worth the money. I think if you don't want to buy the HP Pavilion, you should save up and buy the CyberPower PC just for $150 extra, and you get a way better performance for that PC and future upgradability as well. But I think the HP Pavilion is going to outperform this gaming PC, and I think it's a much better option. But again, if you want better airflow, more upgradability, you don't care about the gaming right now, it's not going to be terrible anyway. For 1080p you can run games at 60 FPS average such as GTA 5 and competitive games, but it's not going to be the best one on the list. And for the last PC, which is a bonus gaming PC, is another HP Pavilion, but this time is from Amazon and it's $459. Now do I recommend you buying this gaming PC? If you can buy a gaming PC that's 650 bucks, no I don't recommend you buying this gaming PC. I do recommend you saving more money, but in case you can't save money, you need a gaming PC and you want to play games at 720p or 1080p low settings, this PC is actually going to be decent. You get the Ryzen 3 5300G alongside 4 gigs of RAM, which once again, upgrade the 4 gigs of RAM please, go with at least 8 gigs if you want better performance on gaming, and 256 gigs of SSD alongside Windows 11. Now this PC is designed to play 720p games and games like League of Legends, Minecraft, Valorant and CSGO. But if you want to do 1080p gaming, 60 FPS average, medium settings in a lot of games, this gaming PC is not for you. I think you should save more money, but if you can't, it's not going to be a terrible option. And that was my whole list. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe, but most importantly hit the bell button so you get notified when I upload this type of content, and you should click that bell button because I'm going to give you those Christmas deals, so stay tuned for those deals and you can actually save some money and also make a gift for a friend or a family member. So thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support, and I will see you on the next video.